The unlikely instrument. The year was 1942. A young Boston college student, let's call him Edward, had a burning dream of breaking into show business. But let's be honest, the odds were heavily stacked against him. He wasn't exactly a chiseled matinee idol. He wasn't a natural comedian, and he had absolutely no training as a dramatic actor. What he did have, however, was an instrument. Welcome to the landing point. Once you know who they are, put their name in the comments and what time you figured it out. Edward possessed a deep, resonant, booming baritone that seemed to literally rattle the windows every time he spoke. And he had been putting that voice to work since he was 15 years old. He called bingo numbers up in Maine, then hustled as a carnival barker and a boardwalk pitchman. Shouting over the chaotic noise of the Midway, Edward learned exactly how to project, how to sell the crowd, and how to command absolute attention. Then came the war. Edward didn't look for the easy way out. He enlisted in the Marines and earned his wings flying the legendary C-4U crosshairs. But here is the part most people get wrong. He never saw combat in World War II. He was so good in the cockpit that they made him a flight instructor and a test pilot, and his orders to the Pacific were canceled when Japan surrendered. So the Marines called him back for Korea, and there he flew 85 combat missions in an unarmed little spotter plane, hanging over enemy positions directing artillery while people shot at him. He came home with 6 air medals, and he stayed in the Marine Corps Reserves until he was a retired colonel. Back in civilian life, he threw himself into the relentless hustle of the Philadelphia television and worked on 13 local shows in a single year. Then in 1958, a break came through an old neighbor named Dick Clark. A network daytime show in New York called Who Do You Trust needed a new announcer. Edward took the train up to Manhattan to meet the host. The meeting was so short and so cold, he was certain he had blown it. He later said it was about as exciting as watching a traffic light change. He got the job anyway. And here's what he understood about that job. His work wasn't just to read copy. His work was to make the host sound like they were the most important, most exciting person in the world. He obsessively practiced the introduction, dragging out his syllables and building a massive anticipation, turning a simple name into grand fanfare. The host of that daytime game show was a skinny, fast-talking young comedian out of Nebraska, and he noticed exactly what that booming voice did to the energy of the room before he even walked in. In 1962, that comedian got the call of a lifetime, moving to New York and taking over the biggest late-night talk show in the entire country. He brought the announcer with him. On October 1st, 1962, Edward sat behind a microphone, took a massive breath, and unleashed that carnival barker baritone on a national audience. He dragged out his vowels. He hit the consonants like a drum, and he delivered an introduction that instantly became a permanent fixture in American pop culture. The Marine pilot from the bingo halls didn't just announce the star. He invented the job of the sidekick. For 30 years, whenever you heard the thunderous cry, "Here's Johnny," you were listening to the man who made an entire career out of making someone else look good. Edward Leto Peter, Ed McMahon. And this is The Landing Point. Viewers, thank you for watching today, The Landing Point. We really appreciate it. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Roadrunner Real Estate. They are a full-service real estate company doing both commercial and residential real estate. They can help you buy, sell, or even lease your properties. So if you're in the market looking for a real estate company, please go out and give them a call. They'll happily help you today. The next thing I'd like to talk about is our social media. Obviously, we have YouTube if you're watching that today. If you haven't done so already, please go out and subscribe. It is completely free to you. There's nothing that you'll be charged or your membership fees, but it does help us out so we can get our latest episodes to you quickly and you can find out what's going on with YouTube. Our other place that we do a lot of our social media is on our Facebook page, The Landing Point. So please go out and like and subscribe or follow those, I guess I would say, so you get the latest updates. If you're a person that likes to listen to stories as you're out on the drive, we have our podcast. You can find The Landing Point out there, and it can be on most services. So once again, thank you for watching The Landing Point, and we look forward to see you on our next story.